LeeTDickey.com. Well, hello everybody, Lee Dickey here. Welcome back to another episode of Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast where I look at segments, matches, share stories, and memories from being a fan of professional wrestling the majority of my life. And today we're going to look at the final WCW-centric matchup within WWE. What I mean by that is this is the last, or at least the last that I know of, matchup where the WWE tried to get WCW to be its own separate brand after they bought it from Turner Broadcasting. And I know I said in the last episode of Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast, which can be found on my official website, LeeTDickey.com, and everywhere and anywhere you find your podcast and on your favorite podcast app. I know I said in the last episode that DDP versus Booker T for the WCW Championship was the last WCW-centered matchup on WWE television, but I found this little gem, which is Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire defending the WCW Tag Team titles against Shawn Stasiak and Chris Kanyon from an episode of Sunday Night Heat that aired on July 8th, 2001. So that would have been 3 days after the SmackDown in which DDP and Booker T faced off for the WCW title. So without further ado, let's get into this new episode of Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast where I look at Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire defending the WCW Tag Team titles against Shawn Stasiak and Chris Kanyon. Here we go. All right, we kick things off with Scott Hudson and Arn Anderson once again on commentary. We see Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire come down the aisle. I'm not sure where this edition of Heat was taped, but you see the old SmackDown sort of entranceway and entrance ramp. Honestly, it's my favorite version of the SmackDown entrance, or SmackDown set, rather. Lillian Garcia here as the ring announcer. Like I said, Scott Hudson and Arn Anderson are on commentary, and the camera pans over, and I think that's Billy Silverman is the referee in this match. He didn't last very long once the WWE bought out WCW. I don't know. You didn't see him very long. Maybe he just couldn't last in the WWE locker room, so he just left. I don't know, or he was released. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's a shame that he didn't last as long as everybody else has. I know Nick Patrick was there for a while, and Charles Robinson, he's been there ever since the buyout, and he's still there today. So we see Shawn Stasiak and Chris Kanyon come down the aisle, and they're really plugging the Invasion here, which is 2 weeks from this airing of Sunday Night Heat. It's, I think, on the 22nd. So this aired on July 8th, 2001. So this is exactly 2 weeks to the Invasion pay-per-view. And I honestly didn't think that Shawn Stasiak was going to come back to the WWE, because he was in the WWE in the late 90s as Meat, and he was actually Kurt Angle's first opponent on pay-per-view at Survivor Series 99. We start things off with Kanyon and the right hands on Palumbo, and they're really plugging the Invasion here. Kanyon taking it to Palumbo with the right hands. Billy Silverman admonishing them, like, gotta stop that. Palumbo reverses the Irish whip, leapfrog, and a drop kick. The crowd doesn't seem all that into it right now. It's unfortunate, because I know both Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire stuck around for a little while. Kanyon was around for a little bit. I don't think Stasiak was around all that much longer, maybe another year or two. Power slam here by Palumbo on Kanyon. Quick 2 count and a kick out. But I know Palumbo was around for a while. He did a couple stints with the company. He, of course, did Billy and Chuck stuff with Billy Gunn. And Sean O'Haire did the Devil's Advocate gimmick. I think his finisher was the Widowmaker when he was paired with Roddy Piper. The Devil, I don't know. I liked Sean O'Haire. I really did. Palumbo too. I really liked Palumbo in WCW. I remember watching some of his early matches from like Saturday Night in 1998. Kanyon with a swinging neckbreaker on O'Haire. Tags in Stasiak. Silverman's got to get out of the way. Irish whip, backspring elbow from Stasiak to O'Haire. More right hands. Another Irish whip from Stasiak to O'Haire. O'Haire reverses it. Backspring elbow and a knee lift. Right to the face. Tag here from O'Haire to Palumbo. We're going for the double team. And Palumbo with a leapfrog right onto Stasiak's gut as O'Haire holds him onto his midsection. But like I remember Palumbo from his early days in WCW in 1998 watching Saturday Night. And O'Haire, he always seemed to have potential. It's too bad he's no longer with us. And it's a shame he went out the way he went out. But I did like his Devil's Advocate gimmick. Palumbo, I've always been a fan of his. The biker gimmick he had in 2008 was actually really cool to me. I actually really thought that he had something there. Kanyon comes in while Palumbo and Stasiak are in the corner. And Stasiak with a back suplex sort of Russian leg sweep off the top rope. Gets out of the ring. Stasiak with the boots to Palumbo here. Silverman's just prancing around the ring trying to get Stasiak to lighten up, it looks like. And they're really putting this match over, Anderson and Hudson. Like I've said several times in these first few episodes, I really did like Scott Hudson in WCW. I liked his commentary. He had that great voice for doing commentary and sort of, voice work, really. Stasiak with a gut-wrench powerbomb. 1, 2. O'Haire breaks it up. Silverman trying to get him out of there. Stasiak goes to the corner, tags in Kanyon. Palumbo off the top turnbuckle. Kanyon putting the shoulders to him and some right hands. Silverman trying to get him out of there, giving him the count. Palumbo blocks the right hand, comes back with rights of his own. And a jumping flatliner from Kanyon to Palumbo. Goes for the cover. O'Haire breaks it up really quickly. Silverman gets him out of there. And I know I've said this several times, but I was really hoping WCW would work under the WWE banner. But the crowds just weren't into it. And it's a shame, because I think it could have done well had this been handled properly. Stasiak with the right hands to Palumbo, Irish whip to the next corner, and Stasiak's got him up. Reverse DDT. 1, 2. O'Haire breaks it up again. A lot of partners interfering and breaking up counts in this match, I find. Quick tag here from Stasiak to Kanyon. Kanyon got a sleeper hold on Palumbo. Palumbo with a back suplex. Buy himself some time. Billy Silverman starts with the count. O'Haire trying to get Palumbo over to the corner. Palumbo rolls over, gets the tag into O'Haire. O'Haire was really athletic. And his version of the Swanton Bomb, or we called it the Swanton Bomb, really, really cool. O'Haire with 2 jumping spinning heel kicks, really, really nice. Like I just said, he's very athletic. Palumbo dumps Stasiak out to the outside, a slingshot drop kick to Kanyon off the top turnbuckle. Palumbo with a super kick to Stasiak. O'Haire's got him up. Faces the hard cam. And an F5 here from O'Haire to Kanyon 2, 3. That's it. O'Haire and Palumbo retain the WCW Tag Team titles here on this edition of Sunday Night Heat from July 8th, 2001. Good little matchup between these four competitors, Palumbo, O'Haire, Stasiak, and Kanyon. It's a shame that WCW didn't go on to become its own separate brand under the WWE banner. I really thought it had legs. I really wanted it to work because, to be quite honest, I miss WCW. You know, I didn't get much of it growing up because I've said this several times, the broadcasting rights, I don't know how they worked up here because Nitro aired on the same network that Raw did when they were broadcasting in Canada at the time. And Thunder, I'm not sure what happened there. They always seemed to be preempted. I wasn't sure how I could nail it down, and I didn't see much of Thunder live when it was on the air. But this was a good little match between Palumbo, O'Haire, Stasiak, and Kanyon. And this has been another episode of Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Lee Dickey. Thank you for tuning in. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, as always, you can find Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast on my official website, leetdickey.com. And anywhere and everywhere podcasts can be found, and podcasts are available on your favorite podcast app for sure. So, thanks again for tuning in, but I'm Lee Dickey, and for Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast, I am signing off. We will talk to you and see you all later. Peace! LeeTDickey.com